Here at Kendall College, we have many goals and missions. One of the missions that I would like to speak to you about is environmental stewardship. The fact of the matter is that we are not only stewards at our school, but we are stewards for the environment as well. It is ultimately up to us to take care of the planet and to ensure that we are creating a safe place for the future generations to come. Decisions that we make on a daily basis, from what we eat to where we want to eat or how we get to school, definitely impacts the environment by creating a carbon footprint. The carbon footprint can either go extremely rapidly or we can have a small one, but 9 times out of 10 it creates a larger problem. To help during out my speech, I would like to inform you about identifying what a carbon footprint actually is, what the negative effects of a carbon footprint are, and how we can reduce our carbon footprint. As a culinary student at Kendall College, I have taken a sustainability class and have learned throughout all of my culinary classes actually how carbon footprint can actually affect our environment and our daily lives and the future to come. The general public needs to be aware of this issue so that the future can stay strong. Environmental stewardship, especially with regards to carbon footprint, is in fact an issue in our country without a doubt. So, but each person can make a difference by doing little things every day. So let me tell you how you can make a difference in our environment today. First off, what is a carbon footprint? You have probably heard it in some way or another, but you may not be entirely sure what it actually is. So a carbon footprint is any trace of carbon dioxide that either is created naturally or by human causes. Some examples that create a carbon footprint are commuting to and from school, a truck delivering groceries to a supermarket, etc., etc. According to timesforchange.org, for each gallon of gas that is sold in the United States, it creates about 8.7 kilos of carbon dioxide, which is about 19 pounds. 19 pounds from 1 gallon of gas. Just think about how many gallons of gas you buy to fill up your tank and multiply that by the kilos per gallon of gas. It is just absolutely astounding. Some negative effects of carbon dioxide are it is created naturally, so breathing obviously we create carbon dioxide, but a lot of the negative is created from human activities. The United States only makes up 4% of the landmass population here on Earth, and however, we create over 25% of carbon dioxide emissions total for the planet. That's a quarter of the carbon dioxide emissions that are causing the problem, and we are only 4% of the actual population, so that really does say a lot about Americans. The average American creates also about 20 tons of carbon dioxide a year. 20 tons a year. That number is huge just for each individual. Just multiply that by how many people are in your family, community, city, etc., etc. The number gets pretty extravagant pretty quickly. The fact of the matter is that the little things that we do make a difference. So we need to be aware of how we can tackle this problem and make our future better. It's truly the little things that we do on a day-to-day basis that can probably reduce our carbon footprint, and it's little things that we don't probably even think about when we do it. For example, becoming aware of where our food comes from is a huge impact. 9 times out of 10, strawberries, for example, come from California. Just to get those strawberries here to Chicago, it's quite a stretch, like 500 to 800 miles. That's just for, let's say, a pack of strawberries. So it is important that we become aware of our local farmers and to utilize farmers markets and everything like that to ensure that we eat locally to reduce that carbon footprint. Also, things like carpooling or using public transportation helps reduce carbon footprint as well. Being able to reduce, reuse, and recycle will definitely help reduce our carbon footprint. So just remember the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. It is critical that we identify carbon dioxide emissions as a problem here for our environment. We need to create a plan to execute and solve this issue. This did not occur overnight. It occurred over time, so it will take time to ultimately fix this problem. But we need to, I mean, just for our sake of our children and generations to come. As students of Kendall College, I encourage you to become environmental stewards in your own neighborhoods and your homes. It may seem tedious at first to do these little day-to-day tasks. However, we need to bring awareness, not only for ourselves, but for others around us. Don't just overlook this issue. See what types of changes you can make at home and in your own life to make a difference. Small steps will turn into big strides, and then we will be able to ultimately make a change for the future.